Half-Life. Classic, the adored. How do you follow up a game that redefines a genre, arguably an industry? Gordon's overtime shift still stands as one of the finest examples of a complete video game experience, aside from that one floaty place out there that we don't really mention. The pace, the variety, the peeling back of each layer to reveal the hidden forces at play. Half-Life was, still is, as the kids say, peak gaming. Fortunately, we do have an answer to how you follow up Half-Life in the shape of Opposing Force. One of the greatest expansion packs ever to be made, Opposing Force slotted us on the other side of the coin as one of the elite soldiers sent in to deal with the Black Mesa fallout. Not only does it provide a much more action-focused experience, but it adheres to what Half-Life set out before it. The cherry on the cake is how smoothly Opposing Force works side by side in the context of Half-Life's events. Whirling above the New Mexico desert, Opposing Force opens with lashings of Predator references, with Shepard and his squad being deployed without knowing the mission. Before they know it, they find themselves in the exact same situation as the scientists of Black Mesa, trying to survive on all fronts. Scattered and wounded from an alien force, equally seen as disposable, left in a fight to survive, it's a wonderfully crafted wrap-up around the core Half-Life experience that not only excels on its own merits, but enhances the original. Add to this the climax of the game, with G-Man's lore being slightly expanded in the best way possible, and Opposing Force truly is a great piece of video game media, and will become a milestone in Randy Pitchford's budding career. I wonder what happened to him. Anyway, Blue Shift. While not technically an expansion pack, given it doesn't require the original Half-Life to run, Blue Shift is still typically placed under the category of expansion pack. Originally created as Dreamcast content, the release of Blue Shift on PC brought the higher def models of both Half-Life and Opposing Force. It's an added value to what is a fairly short gameplay experience, which has always been Blue Shift's most glaring negative. Given what Blue Shift was and became, it could never quite match the more robust offering of Opposing Force. So where does that leave Blue Shift? Playing as future fan favourite and Black Mesa's second best security guard.
That's right, I got another one. So, my reputation precedes me.
Barney Calhoun, Blue Shift that runs directly alongside the events of Half-Life. As you'd expect, this involves a lot of scurrying through the crumbling Black Mesa facility, fighting back both military forces and aliens. The core difference between the two experiences is where Opposing Force feels like a thrilling ride filled with encounters and scale, Blue Shift is a much more quainter affair. Its smaller scale doesn't result in a bad time, just a more lopsided Half-Life experience. The level design is generally tighter, resulting in much more intimate firefights. The Marines are thrown at Barney pretty much from the beginning, and throughout, allowing Blue Shift to lean heavily into combat. This, depending on how you look at it, is Blue Shift's strongest point. The focus on Marine slapping does come at the cost of no alien or experimental weaponry, which was, back then, and still is, a slight disappointment. It's not that Blue Shift is bad, far from it, but more a victim of its origins. Where Opposing Force was developed as a fully fledged expansion pack with a complete experience, Blue Shift was always created as an extra, thus limiting its scale. But for what little skill there is, it's solid, like a nice biscuit. A bourbon biscuit. I hope this is not the beginning of references to biscuits throughout my videos. Another aspect that always goes against Blue Shift is how it ends. Simply jumping into a car and driving off. Fitting with the smaller scale of the affair, when compared to its peers, Blue Shift feels somewhat detached. There's no grand ending with a boss fight, nor is there any special attention paid to Barney from a certain suited man. Just a brisk drive on a quiet road. There's no attention given to him from G-Man, but retrospectively when we think about this, it is fitting. Barney isn't doing the things that Gordon or Shepard would do, so maybe G-Man just doesn't see him as a valuable asset. You could say that G-Man overlooks Barney, that he underrates him, which seems in line for Blue Shift, as it is indeed the black sheep of the Half-Life installments. With its origin as a bit-part addition to a version of a game that never released, technically, Blue Shift could never match Half-Life or Opposing Force. And with people generally preferring to use the old models when playing Half-Life or Opposing Force, those additions of the HD models kind of become overlooked somewhat. However, it is fair to say that time has been kind to Blue Shift. Retrospective revisits and even fresh eyes can appreciate it for its neat design and tight combat encounters. Despite its limitations and some odd puzzles, Blue Shift has carved out its own legacy, a little spot in the pantheon of Half-Life, the little brother to opposing force that does things similar, but maybe not on quite the same scale. Gordon's worst shift. Shepard's last mission. The ascendancy of Barney Calhoun. Blue Shift, you're a good one.